As federal immigration authorities continue to ramp up enforcement, concerns are mounting for the children of parents who are taken into ICE custody. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. New legislation is now making its way through the state legislature, which would give those parents more options to make sure their kids are taken care of while they are separated from them.
CBS 8's Richard Allen is here with more on how this bill would work and the backlash it's facing. Richard?
And Carlo and Marcella, Assembly Bill 495, also known as the Family Preparedness Act, would help streamline the process already in place for caregiver arrangements, as well as temporary guardianship in case a parent is suddenly taken into federal custody. Now, that's a scenario that played out in front of an elementary school in Chula Vista just last week.
That's the worst thing possible.
Cell phone video captured last Wednesday's arrest of a mother by ICE agents in front of Camarena Elementary School during morning drop-off. ICE later confirmed the woman arrested had been ordered to be deported for overstaying her visa. And while it's not clear who now has custody of her kids, the district superintendent did encourage all parents to create a plan to care for their children in the event they're not able to be picked up or dropped off due to unforeseen circumstances.
All over our great state, families are in fear of ICE showing up and tearing their families apart.
Assemblymember Celeste Rodriguez wrote the Family Preparedness Act in response to increasing immigration enforcement that often separates parents from their underage children.
Deportation may come without warning, and a child might come home from school or an activity to find their parents or entire family is gone.
We want to ensure that there is no child who is ever left without an adult who is a caring individual who has the ability to make the necessary decisions.
Kristen Power is Vice President of Policy and Advocacy for the Alliance for Children's Rights, a co-sponsor of AB 495.
And what the bill does is creates a new short-term joint guardianship, which will allow families facing family separation to designate a joint guardianship, which would preserve their parental rights.
And in less formal arrangements, it allows parents to designate someone to temporarily care for their children, including a non-relative extended family member.
So expanded family members could be like cousins or godparents or neighbors and coaches and mentors, those that are known to the family.
Opponents of the bill, though, are raising concerns that AB 495 could create legal loopholes for transferring custody, thereby weakening parents' rights.
We appreciate everyone's very much concern about ensuring that children are well cared for and that child well-being is at the forefront. We share those concerns. There are guards in place through existing law that provide and protect for children.
And Assembly Bill 495 has already passed the state assembly and will be taken up by the Senate Appropriations Committee next week. Now, if ultimately passed by both chambers and signed by the governor, it would go into effect next year.
So, Richard, what specific powers would these temporary caregivers have?
Well, they would be limited under the more informal arrangement. That's the caregiver authorization affidavit. They would be allowed to enroll the child in school. They would be able to authorize like routine medical and dental care, that sort of thing. Of course, the child would have to be under 18, and during that caring time, they would be in the same household as the caregiver.
And is this only the case in enforcement, in cases where it's immigration enforcement related?
That's a good question. Actually, it's for a lot of different scenarios. It could be immigration enforcement, it could be military deployment, it could be illness, it could be a lot of different scenarios. The supporters of 495 say it's important for all parents to have a plan in place in case the unthinkable happens, and that they have a plan in place for their kids to be taken care of, even on a temporary basis.
All right, Richard, thanks so much.
Thank you.